From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the Kern County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy, and our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
We're ready when you are.
Board to reconvene. Good morning and welcome to the Kern County Board of Supervisors regular AM session for October 7th. We're going to begin this morning, as we always do, with a roll call.
Supervisor Peters?
Here.
Supervisor Parlier?
Here.
Supervisor Flores?
Here.
Supervisor Couch?
Here.
Supervisor Perez?
Here. Thank you so much. This morning's flag salute will be led by our very own Jose Lopez, and as he makes his way to the lectern, with who I understand is a new volunteer, and we're going to hear about that momentarily, I want to take a moment to read a little bit about Mr. Lopez, our own hero and combat vet. Jose Lopez is a Kern County Veteran Services officer. Born in Mexico, but raised in Bakersfield, he graduated from Ridgeview High School in 2005 and immediately enlisted in the U.S. Army. After boot camp, he deployed to Iraq in 2006 and again in 2008. God bless you, Jose. Where he earned 2 Army Commendation Medals, an Army Achievement Medal, and a Combat Action Badge. After honorably discharging from the U.S. Army in 2009, he returned to Bakersfield and enlisted in the U.S. Army Reserves for an additional 2 years. During this time, he also attended college and was a certified GM technician at Delano Chevrolet. Jose began serving the county of Kern as a human services technician in 2015 at the Department of Human Services. In 2017, he made the move to the Veteran Services Department, where he has been assisting veterans and their families throughout Kern County to apply for the benefits they've earned through their honorable military service. You've come a long way, Jose.
I have. Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, a lot of hats, a lot of responsibility, but I'm happy to take it on and serve the county. And I thank you for the opportunity today. I wanted to make a couple announcements. The first is the Kern County Veterans Stand Down. We've been planning and we've been getting prepared for this event, and it is now upon us. So on Thursday, this Thursday, the 9th, beginning at 8 a.m., we will be open to the public at Stramler Park. Specifically, any veterans that are in need of services, regardless of their life situation, we want them to come out and make sure that they get everything that they deserve. And we're going to be all in one spot to provide those services so that they don't have any barriers to services on this one day. Number 2 is, because Kern County is so vast in size and population, and we're such a small department, we've enlisted the help of local volunteers. And today I have with me Miss Elaine Canfield, recently appointed volunteer, one of 3. She's going to be in the community serving as a liaison to services for any underserved populations, our most vulnerable populations specifically, the elderly, the homeless, the needy, to make sure that they know that we exist and we're here to provide them services, and we don't want them to get taken advantage of by any claim sharks. So with that, I just wanted to introduce everybody to her, and if you guys are ready, I can lead you in the flag salute.
Please do. Thank you. At the conclusion of the flag salute, please remain standing for a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation, whichever you prefer. Thank you, Jose.
You're welcome. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you for your service, Jose.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Many veterans do not know that at the Veterans Stand Down, which is Thursday, there are legal services there available for veterans who have cases pending, fines that have been pending. There's opportunities to work those fines off. It's an incredible day of the year where the district attorney's office, as well as the public defender, comes together with the bench and provides remarkable, remarkable grace, compassion, and service to our veterans who, of course, have earned that and much more. But that is a special day. If you're not able to attend that day or you haven't been signed up, we can get you in the queue and get you moving along the pathway that allows you to have consideration in the exoneration of your fines, fees, and criminal matters, as well as traffic matters on that day. So please, please, if you have any questions about that, please contact my office. We're there every year to assist veterans in that process very proudly. But please consider it, spread the word, because it is not a lot of veterans know about that. So Jose, thank you for bringing that to our attention this morning. And God bless you again. Okay, today we do not have Nick Cullen for our Pet of the Week, but we do have Hunter with us in spirit. You can see this adorable picture here of the 2-year-old male large breed. He is, as you can see, happy, energetic, and full of love and ready to have a forever home and make a forever home by keeping your secrets, by keeping you happy, and by loving you without cause. That is truly, truly special. Man's best friend, of course. Okay, thank you for that. Those fees, adoption fees, spay and neuter, all of that is waived in the process, so it really is a remarkable, stunning deal for you and your family. Okay, we're going to move to consent matters this morning. Consent matters are listed with a capital C, capital A. They are considered routine and non-controversial by staff, so they're generally handled in one motion. If you have a question, concern, or issues on consent matters, as I list them, now would be the time to raise those. You can also add thoughts that you'd like to be placed onto the record at this time without us actually pulling a matter from consent. So just let us know at the conclusion of my reading the agenda. So consent matters begin on page 2, and they include item number 9. On page 3, items 12 through 17. On page 4, all items listed, 18 through 23. On page 5, items 25 through 30. On page 6, items 31 through 36, as well as item 38. On page 7, all items listed, 39 through 42. Are there any members of the public that would like to make comment, provide input, your thoughts, your ideas on matters that were just listed on consent? Okay, seeing no interest in doing so from the public, I will ask my colleagues for comment, question, or action.
Motion on consent. Second.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch. And we have a motion and a second. Supervisor Peters, please cast your votes, gentlemen.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
I'm going to thank you in advance for your patience this morning because we have a rather lengthy resolutions and proclamations calendar. But each of these is absolutely special and sacred to this body. And we ask for your attention and your respect and honor for these matters. Item number 1 and item number 2 will be handled by Assemblymember Couch, Supervisor Couch. And number 1 is a resolution. He's still here with us in spirit. Resolution honoring Brandon Hankins, Information Technology Services, upon his retirement with 27 years of dedicated service to the County of Kern. Item number 2 is a proclamation for October 12 through 18 as 4 through 8 week in Kern County.
Motion on items 1 and 2, and I'll add, we have an awfully long way to go. Thank
Yes, I know. Supervisor Couch, thank you. Items 1 through 2, we have a motion on, and Supervisor Peters, that's a second on 1 and 2, I presume. Thank you. Please cast your votes, gentlemen.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Morning, Madam Chair and boards. My pleasure to get our resolutions and proclamations extravaganza off to a roaring start. This is a resolution honoring Brandon Hankins. honoring and commending Information Technology Services Deputy Chief Information Technology Officer Brandon Hankins upon his retirement with 27 years of dedicated service to Kern County. I should greet you first before we do that. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
He looks way too young to be retired.
Yeah, right?
Okay, I will read the proclamation. I'm going to turn it over to Mark Bonara, who also will have some comments about him. But let me read this into the record. Whereas Brandon Hankins began his career with the probation department as an extra help department aide in February of 1998. He served in the roles of program analyst, information services specialist, senior information services specialist, technology services specialist, and in January 2016 was promoted to technology services manager. Mr. Hankins proactively sought efficiencies, improvements, and solutions in his various roles. He was instrumental in the development of a homegrown case management system for adult probation services. He worked diligently through numerous complex projects and ensured compliance with the Department of Justice requirements across all systems. When I read that, I thought, there's just a few words, but that was probably a huge responsibility and a huge job.
Here, here.
Through exceptional leadership, he and his team were quick to respond to needs brought about during the COVID-19 pandemic, allowing probation to be responsive to its duties for the Superior Court. During his tenure with probation, Mr. Hankins performed his duties with a high level of integrity and purpose. He developed and modeled a team-oriented service delivery approach for staff, which benefited each probation division and their unique technology needs. Furthermore, his contributions as a member of the probation management team were invaluable. In August of 2022, Mr. Hankins moved to the Information Technology Services Department as Deputy Chief Information Technology Officer. In this position, he has been a champion for continued improvement efforts and enhanced customer service. He has led the ITS division through its significant reorganization and been instrumental in bringing accountability and a performance mindset to the department. On October 30th, 2025, Mr. Hankins retires after 27 years of dedicated service to Kern County. His dedicated leadership and technical support have earned him the respect and the admiration of his colleagues, and he has wished the very best in all of his future endeavors. Now, therefore, it is resolved by the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, the State of California, we do hereby honor and commend Deputy Chief Information Technology Officer Brandon Hankins upon his retirement with 27 years of dedicated service to Kern County. This is dated today, signed by all members of the Board of Supervisors. Congratulations on a great career. Started as extra help.
Yes.
Let that be a lesson to a lot of folks out there.
Big
Mark,
lesson.
you want to say a few words?
Thank you, Supervisor Couch, members of the board. For those of you who know Brandon, you know full well how much he greatly appreciates public recognition and how he was so eagerly to come here and stand in front of everybody. Just very briefly, it has been an absolute privilege working with Brandon. We've been driving significant cultural changes within ITS, focusing on cybersecurity and customer service improvements. And Brandon has been an absolute champion for that. His partnership and friendship will be greatly missed, and we certainly do wish him the best. So thank you.
Well said.
Wow.
Here we are.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, just real quick, to all the people that I've had the opportunity to work with at the probation department and ITS. I've been extremely blessed to work with the high quality, high character, high integrity people throughout my career. And it's through their support, through their help, through their commitment that I'm able to stand here today. So I just want to say thank you to all the people that I've had the opportunity to work with, all the people I've had the opportunity to manage, all the people I've had the opportunity to collaborate with. Just thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well said. I appreciate the extolling of the virtues that you listed with people that you work with. It reminds me of what Warren Buffett said about what to look for. Warren Buffett, one of the world's most talented, successful investors and billionaires, said the 3 qualities to look for in a person: integrity, intelligence, and energy. And without the first one, don't even bother. And I love that those were what you emphasize here today with the people that you work with. People like that really stand out and leave a lasting impression on you. So I'm sure it says something about you too, what you value. Thank you for your service to Kern County. We appreciate you very much.
So I got a chance just a minute ago to meet a young man named Lionel Jimenez. He was kind enough to let me call him Lionel. I think his pronunciation is actually Lionel. But you all remember Brian Marsh. He retired. Lionel took his place. Really, I'm going to say a couple of nice words and turn it over to him, but we probably just ought to turn it over to Hannah here. Because I've had a conversation with her already, and she can carry it, trust me. She's good. And she's won a whole lot of things lately. But today, we're here to just proclaim October 12th through the 18th as 4-H Week in Kern County. This recognition is entered into the official board minutes signed by our Honorable Chair Leticia Perez. It's dated today. So Lionel, I'm going to turn this over to you and let you tell us all about 4-H Week and why you brought her along with you.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Well, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Leonel Jimenez, and I am the University of Cooperative Extension's Director. I'm honored to highlight 4-H Kern County and ask you to proclaim October 12th through 18th, 2025 as 4-H Week. 4-H has been serving Kern County youth since 1925, 100 years. Wow. Today, there are 21 active 4-H clubs. I want to recognize, she wasn't able to make it, but Jenny Welford, club leader of Casa Loma 4-H, for her remarkable 60 years of service, not only as a member of 4-H, but also as a volunteer. 4-H is open to youth ages 5 to 19, and members choose their projects, anything from robotics to cooking, making 4-H the largest youth development organization in the United States. It's not just for raising animals, but other projects are also incorporated. 4-H builds leadership, community service, and life skills while connecting youth and adults. It's also part of the University of California Cooperative Extensions. We also offer the Juntos program, which supports high school success graduation, post-secondary education, and parental involvement by unifying families, schools, and the community. 4-H is a vital program that prepares youth to be responsible and engaged citizens. We are proud of the legacy in Kern County and are grateful for the county's ongoing support and Sue McKinney for also running the program for us. And today I brought the lovely Hannah here to describe a little bit about her projects of what she does at 4-H. So I'll turn the mic over to her.
My goodness. Hello, Hannah.
Hello, my name is Hannah. I'm 9 years old and a member of West Bakersfield 4-H. I show my senior Buck Holland up at the fair. He won 5th place in his class. And what I do is that I memorize stuff for my rabbit, and then I show him, and then that determines how I get my prizes. And then I also want a poster on how you keep a rabbit's diet healthy. I put what they can eat and what they can't, because they might get sick or poisoned. And I love 4-H because I love making new friends, learning about new animals, and getting money for winning prizes.
Money's the best part, no doubt. Hannah, hold up. Hannah, come on down. My goodness, what a total superstar you are, Hannah. Well, Kern County, of 3,069 counties in America, we are #1 in ag, #1 in 3,069 counties. And this 4-H program, which we know has 60-year volunteers, is a huge component of our success, our culture, who we are in Kern County. So God bless you, Hannah. I can I can't even imagine the successes that lay before you. You are an astonishing young woman, and to your family, hats off to you. Okay, well done, Supervisor Couch, thank you. The next two items, 3 and 4, will be handled by Supervisor Parlier. And number 3 is a proclamation for October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Kern County. Number 4 is a proclamation for October 10th through the 19th as Taft Oil Dorado Days in Kern County. Supervisor Parlier, the floor is yours.
Motion on items 3 and 4.
Second.
We have motions on items 3 and 4 and 2 seconds, so lots of support. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Nice to meet you. Good morning, Madam Chair and colleagues. This morning, I rise alongside you to proclaim October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Kern County. Domestic Violence Awareness Month was observed in October 1987 as the first national toll-free domestic violence abuse hotline was established. It is unfortunate that our society faces these types of events, and domestic violence affects people of all races, ethnicities, and religions. It is said that in the United States, 20 people are physically abused by an intimate partner every minute. Though these sad realities exist, I am thankful for agencies like the District Attorney's Office, the Kern County Family Justice Center, and many other partner agencies that work tirelessly to meet the needs of our victims. At this time, I'd like to present this proclamation signed by our honorary chair and present it to Ken with the Kern County District Attorney's Office. And Ken, if you'd please allow us a few remarks too.
Thank you.
Welcome, Ken.
Morning. Morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Ken Russell, and I'm the Assistant District Attorney for Kern County, and I oversee the Family Justice Center. Since the Family Justice Center has opened its doors, we've had over 14,000 victims of personal violence have come through our doors. My advocates work tirelessly every day trying to service each and every one of them, provide them the services that they need to try and help them restore their lives back to normal. It's recognition like this from our board and from the support from law enforcement in the county that we're able to try and make a difference. But thank you very much on behalf of my office for this recognition. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Ken Russell, if I could say a couple words about you, and I mean them. I've watched you for a couple of decades, from my time as a public defender to this very moment, and I can attest to your remarkable devotion to victims in this community. I've watched it stunningly. You are sincerely passionate about the work that you do, a consummate professional, and I want to thank you for what you do. I think it's remarkable, and I appreciate all that you do for Kern County families, reunification, justice, the whole nine. You have made stunning contributions to Kern County, and it's a pleasure to honor you today.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Ken. All right, Madam Chair, we have a rowdy crew coming down now with the Oil Dorado and the posse.
Kern County,
So
baby.
we're going to gather up the posse right now. Yeah. Yeah, no shooting guns in here today.
We'll save that for a few more days.
Here, let's gather around. Bring it out around. Stephanie, you're going to get this certificate, right? Okay. The Board of Supervisors is happy to proclaim October 10th through the 19th, 2025 as Taft Oil Dorado Days in Kern County. Oil Dorado Days is a time for the community to gather and celebrate the rich history that resides in Taft. The first festival took place in 1930 and has become a wonderful pastime of camaraderie, tradition, celebration, and the uniqueness and importance of Taft. This celebration is unique and occurs every 5 years. Here with us today are several community members, Oil Dorado team and community, our posse. Together they run, coordinate, and manage all the many events that this wonderful festival brings. I'd like to present this proclamation to Stephanie Molina, 2025 Oil Dorado President, who will provide some remarks, introduce her team, and share more about this wonderful event that I look forward to going to. Come on up, Stephanie.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair and supervisors. We're just really happy to be here to represent this, not only the city of Taft, but Oil Dorado. We are proud to be part of Kern County and what makes the county great. Oil is very important to us, and so a lot of people tend to forget that Oil Dorado is not just a celebration of oil, but also of Taft's birthday. So again, thank you for all that you do to support us, and we're really looking forward to welcoming people to Taft October 10th through the 19th. Our website, taftoildorado.com, has a long list of events and activities, plenty to do. One of the biggest will be the Grand Parade on Saturday, October 18th, so everyone's invited to come out. I have with me today members of our Posse and Wooden Nickel Gang. We have Rick Jones, Alan Gilbert, Jeremiah Gaylord, Brian Selman, Jeff Demolade, and Trenton Unruh. And I'm gonna invite Trenton up and then Brian to say a few words to wrap us up. Thank you so much.
You guys look like real men, by the way, if I might add.
Well, thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Trent Unruh, AKA I'm the preacher. I have the honor of representing and being the leader of the Wooden Nickel Gang, so we also have bad guys here as well. For generations, Oil Dorado has been more than just an event. It's a living tradition that brings Taft and Kern County together like nothing else. Families line the streets, children collect our wooden nickels, businesses join in the fun, and neighbors reconnect. It is heritage, celebration, and community pride all wrapped into one. The Posse and the Wooden Nickel Gang are two sides of the same coin. We bring energy, humor, entertainment to the festival, sometimes chasing, most of the time being chased, but always giving the community a show to remember. What we do isn't just play acting, it's tradition passed down and cherished year after year. So on behalf of all the members, I want to thank you for your continued support. Oil Dorado is a piece of Kern County history, and it thrives because of our partnership between our community, our leaders, and our traditions. We're proud to keep it alive, and we promise to keep keep giving Kern County something to cheer for. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't feel bad, preacher. I heard a rumor that I'm going to be thrown in a hoosegow, possibly with you. So come on up, Stephanie. Let's get
Pretty good chance.
Can Brian
Oh, yeah, Brian, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Well,
if you could get up.
good morning and thank you for this opportunity. I'm Brian. I am the sheriff for the Oil Dorado, 35 years in on this go around. So I've had a couple of days on that hoosegow. So, thank you so much, Trent, for a nice little speech and for everybody else being here. We've got quite a number of folks. I know Mr. Couch and a couple others maybe have been around enough to see some of our activities in this Oil Dorado process, but we make a little noise and have a lot of fun, so that's what it's all about. I can't thank everybody enough. Our police department is super supportive, sheriff's department, all of the many folks that make this all happen is huge. So with that being said, I gotta warn you guys, because obviously some of you have not been here yet, but I mean, there's a thing called a Smooth Puss badge, which requires you to have most of the time facial hair, and for the women, there's a Tessie Garrett badge, so you need to have your hair in a bun or in ponytails, pigtails, in order to kind of somewhat avoid the potential of going in the hoosegow or getting kidnapped. So just a warning for anybody and everybody out there, come prepared, or you might have a fun time in the jail with us. And I'm going to give you one other real warning. These things right here might be something to do with a lady they call Misbehaving, one of them outlaws. She's also known as Grumpy Granny. Watch out, she's mean.
My kind of woman.
So I would appreciate you guys all showing up so you could take some of the heat off of me, because she's always beating on me, so maybe give someone else the chance to beat on. So anyway, with that being said, I appreciate everything so much, Madam Chair and members of the board. We certainly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everybody out there. Trust me, it'll be a good time.
Thank you.
That's it? Yeah. Okay. You guys turn around the chair. Stephanie? Thank you. Let's get you up front there. Thank you so much. I really look forward to being out there. Yep. Thank
Bring
you.
it on, everybody, come on.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you, Supervisor Parlier. We're going to move to items number 5 and 6, which are, I'm sorry?
Just 5.
Oh, excuse me. Just item number 5. I misread that. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 5, which will be presented by Supervisor Flores this morning, is a proclamation for October 2025 as Filipino American History Month in Kern County. So cool.
Thank you. Proud to make a motion.
Second.
Excellent. Motion and a second. Please cast your votes, gentlemen.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. And at this time, will JTMZ and the members of the Philippine Weekend Committee come join me at the podium? Thank you.
For those of you who are unaware, this is a serious party. You want to have a good time, you want to have great food and be welcomed like family, head to this celebration of Filipino Weekend in Delano. It's a stunning testament to Americana and such a beautiful, beautiful people, culture, and history.
Hi, Violet. You were the star of the show.
Good to see you, Uncle Max. Hi, Jay.
Good morning, public and members of the board. It's such an honor to stand here before you. Last night, matter of fact, we were standing before the Delano City Council doing the same thing, honoring Philippine Weekend Committee, and a whole host of activities. You would be shocked. A parade, a religious procession, a car show, basketball tournaments, food vendors, adobo cook-off, basketball tournament, a whole array of activities throughout the month celebrating the richness of Filipino culture. And it's my honor to pay recognition from our board. You know, we think of the Filipino-American experience maybe starting in the labor movement earlier this century. However, it goes way farther than that. 425 years ago, in Morro Bay, Spanish galleons in 1587 had Philippine sailors and crew members first step foot in California during the trade routes between Spain and Mexico, between Luzon and Acapulco. So the presence here goes back centuries. They're an important fabric, a part of the American fabric of all our diverse cultures. And also, they are some of the most friendliest people on earth. Philippine hospitality, food, graciousness, is unmatched, quite frankly. And so it gives us great honor to present this proclamation. And I'm going to try to attempt to say their slogan for this year, which is Katatagan Lakas at Pagkakaisa, which means resilience, strength, and unity, which is a testament to Philippine culture. And so on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, we declare October 2025 as Filipino American History Month in Kern County, signed by our chairman, dated this date. Present this to Jay Tamsey and let him say a few words. Jay is a dynamic leader. How he does it all, I don't know. We talked about energy and integrity. This man has it.
I just noticed, Nicole, forgive me, I don't have my glasses on, but my former chief of staff is here, Nicole Villaruz. I want to acknowledge you and your precious baby. It is so wonderful to see you and to see this expression of your just stunning people, really, just beautiful. This is an honor. Jay, I love this. What is this, your traditional garb you're wearing this morning?
It's a barong Tagalog. Yes.
What does that mean?
Made in the Philippines. It's made of pineapple.
Oh my goodness.
Pineapple skin.
So beautiful.
Well, Madam Chair and Board of Directors, as well as Supervisor Jeff Flores, thank you for joining us last night. I was up here last month. I was Hispanic, and now I'm Filipino. And so I just wanted to let you all know that we're very thankful for this proclamation and honoring Filipino American History Month. I just want to talk a little bit about the Philippine Weekend in Delano. The 47th Annual Philippine Weekend in Delano is an annual cultural festival held in Delano, California, celebrating Filipino heritage, community, and traditions. It is one of the largest running Filipino American festivals in the United States. The event began in 1974, founded by the Filipino American community leaders to honor and preserve Filipino culture while fostering unity among Delano diverse population. The festival also commemorates the city's deep connection to the Filipino farm workers and their pivotal role in the Delano grape strike and the broader farm labor movement in the 1960s. The Philippine Weekend serves as both a celebration of Filipino identity and a tribute to Delano's agriculture and labor history. It strengthens integrational ties within the Filipino American community and highlights the cultural diversity that defines California's Central Valley. With that being said, Chair of the Board and members of the Board of Supervisors, we are celebrating our 47th Annual Philippine Weekend in Delano. As Supervisor Flores mentioned, resilience, strength, and unity is our theme this year. And yes, we do have lots of different activities. We had our first event last weekend, the Santa Cruzan, which is a religious procession held in the Philippines, and we bring that to Kern County. We also will be celebrating and hosting our pageantry this weekend with our Miss and Mr. and Tiny Tots pageant at RFK High School, and also and we'll be continuing on October 17th with the Adobo Cook-Off, and then the 18th with the parade, and then everything else Supervisor Flores mentioned. And then on the 19th we'll continue as well. But lots of wonderful things going on. I do want to thank the Kern County Parks Division. They have been wonderful to work with, very, very diligently working with us and tirelessly working with us to make this happen at Memorial Park in Delano. Behind me, we do have a couple of committee members. It takes a village bigger than Manila, Philippines, to run this festival. I am the chairman at Barrio Fiesta and Philanthropy. I do have our co-chair and Barrio Fiesta co-chair as well, Nika Cabello, behind me. I also have our Barrio Fiesta food vendors and administration, Angela Mora. Our car show, which has, we have 100 entries, and that Hodex Penalosa is also behind me. Decorations, Suzanne Villaruz. We also have our website and photographer, Arnold Morrison. We have our little ambassadors, my goddaughter, who I'm very proud of, Violet Ramirez. She went to the restroom. Okay. And then we also have Nicole Villaruz, who is our advisor of the parade. And so with that also being said, we have our advisor and founder of Philippine Weekend, Max Becerra. So thank you.
Founder. Max, you look too young to be the founder.
Thank you.
I started this with some other people at age 16, Madam Chairman.
You're kidding me.
And so we've gone full circle. We have been represented by the President of the Philippines. We have basketball teams coming in from Virginia Beach, Chicago, Hawaii, and throughout California. So we've made a name for Delano and for Kern County. I was at a restaurant one time in Washington, D.C., and they have heard of Philippine Weekend. And when I was on the Housing Authority of the County of Kern, we went to a place in Georgetown, and they said, I've heard of Kern County through Filipino weekend. So that made me really
What a
proud.
moment.
Yeah, but
Yes.
thank you, board, and thank you, everyone, for being so close. Supervisor Couch here. It's a place, it's a special time, special place that we want to be able to share with everybody our Filipino culture, and we want to recognize all the things that Kern County represents.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank
Well
you.
said.
Thank you to our founder. Thank you to our advisor. And
See why
and
he's the founder.
Yes, and as he mentioned, we not only provide Filipino heritage, culture, and community, but we do make a large financial impact on Kern County and in the city of Delano. So that financial impact, we hope that y'all enjoy them sales taxes that we bring in. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well said.
That's it.
Jay,
Thank
I
you very much.
recently had the opportunity to be in Delano at the invitation of Nicole Villaruz and her family, who have deep roots and incredible legacy in Delano, and had the opportunity to hear from Rob Bonta, first Filipino AG of California, and his deep, deep roots with his family in Delano as well. But there was a panel of men who spoke about their contributions to the Delano grape strike, and also just the fabric and culture of Delano. And I'll tell you, this group of warriors just totally floored me. They blew my mind, and they really touched me at a very personal level to see their passion, their love for Delano, their love for family, their love for community. It was absolutely striking. And, I hope that we can launch and build a beautiful Filipino museum in Delano to honor the longstanding culture, contribution, and beauty of the Filipino people who, as was stated earlier, always are so warm and gracious, and the food is to die for. I mean, this is really beauty to be honored, beauty to be celebrated. So thank you for today. This is incredible. Thank you for all that you do, and we look forward to a big party in Delano.
Yes. Well, thank you, and we just want to invite all of you in the community of Kern to join us October 17th through the 19th, and we will see you there, Supervisor Couch, and
Wonderful.
all of
Thank
the
you.
other supervisors. Thank you so much.
All right. Well said, everybody.
Go ahead.
They put you on the spot, Supervisor Couch. You better be there.
Ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, good. Thanks, God, really wonderful people, really true.
1, 2, 3. Got it. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next items, 6 and 7, will be presented by Supervisor Peters. And number 6 is to proclaim Whiskey Tender, a memoir by Deborah Jackson Taffa, as the primary title for this year's Fall 2025 One Book Project Community Read in Kern County. Item number 7 is to proclaim, October 9, 2025, as the grand unveiling of the reimagined children's area at the Southwest Branch Library in Kern County.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, for items 6 and 7, we have a motion.
Second.
We have a couple seconds. Please cast your votes, gentlemen.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. It's my honor to, on behalf of the board, proclaim Whiskey Tender, a memoir by Deborah Jackson Taffa, as the 2025 One Book Project. One Book Project is short for One Book, One Bakersfield, One Kern, and the idea is to focus on one book and help promote a culture of reading and foster discussions about whatever the certain topics are, and and get the community together and engaged on exploring different ideas and different themes. And I think, as we all know, as divisive as things can get, that's as important now as ever for us to be able to have open, honest dialogue and conversations with one another. And this program has been going on, I think, close to 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. And it's put on by a lot of different entities, California State University, Bakersfield College, Kern High School District, just a host of partners. And so it's my honor this morning to proclaim Whiskey Tender, a memoir by Deborah Jackson Taffa as the 2025 One Book Project. And this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes and signed by our Honorable Chair, Leticia Perez.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. The One Book Project is an annual partnership that the library participates in, challenging all of Kern County to come together and read a book, dive into deep themes, and have conversations that connect us through our common grounds as well as our differences. This year, the One Book title selection, Whiskey Tender, is a memoir of family and survival, coming of age and on and off the reservation, and the frictions between mainstream American culture and Native inheritance, assimilation, and reverence for tradition. The author, Deborah Jackson Taffa, is a citizen of the Yuma Nation and Laguna Pueblo and former freelance staff writer. Whiskey Tender was a 2024 National Book Award finalist, 2025 Carnegie Medal for Excellence in Nonfiction long-listed title, and many other acclamations and awards. I would just like to share personally what I love about the One Book Project is every year we really deep dive into one specific theme. Through the main title and our companion titles, you get to really read into a topic deeper than you normally would and immerse yourself through our programs and panels and our speakers. So I'm going to turn it over to Lynn Kemmer, Kern County One Book Project Coordinator. She has worked tirelessly to bring this year's theme to life. Every year she spends months and months putting together a really amazing educational and immersive program, and she works really hard to connect people. And so this year is going to be an amazing program, so I hope you all are able to participate, and we'll see you at the libraries. Here's Lynn Kemmer.
Hello, Madam Chair and board members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. Here's a copy of the book, in case anyone would like to come check it out at the library. We also have ebooks and audiobooks, so we deliver in different formats. Every year during the One Book Project months of October and November, our 22 Kern County libraries schedule displays, story times, crafts, programs, and other activities, as well as facilitating a One Book Project Beanstack Reading Challenge powered by a reader's advisory list of titles that are centered on the themes in the book. And this year, we're highlighting Native American life and culture. Kern County Library has been the lead organization since 2002, and I've had the great pleasure of being the county coordinator since 2020. We're honored this year to be able to highlight Deborah Jackson Taffa's book, Whiskey Tender, and her testimony of life on and off the reservation, as well as partner with Central Valley Native Indigenous community members and organizations to host the upcoming premier programs October through November. We just had the kickoff last Wednesday at Bakersfield College. It was fantastic, and we hosted the Tejon Tribe last Saturday with a really good crowd, and they were talking about their past and their future with the Hard Rock Partnership, so it was really interesting. On Thursday, October 9th, CSUB's Kegley Institute of Ethics is hosting a campus conversation titled From Policy to Practice, the Impact of Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act at CSU, B, and across CSUs. The program will be offered in person and also via Zoom. The author keynote with Deborah Jackson Taffa is going to be scheduled on October 21st at 7 p.m. at the Accardo Center. That's typically for students. There's usually about 400 to 600 people at that event. And on Saturday, October 25th, the Kern County Library and partner, the Arts Council of Kern's Common Ground program, will host a Native cultural showcase with a variety of Native artisans as well as tribal representatives from cultural and service organizations. On Saturday, November 15th, Kern County Library hosts Dee Dominguez, who will discuss the Kern River Yokuts women, master basket weavers who provided lifelong documentation of where villages stood, describing food supply, relationships with neighboring tribes, and cultural activities. On Saturday, November 22nd, Kern County Library with partner Native American Indian Health Project will host a panel discussion titled Bridging Traditional Healing and Modern Medicine. This panel will explore how Native and Indigenous cultural wisdom and modern healthcare can work together to support emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being. This event features panelists that include a clinical psychologist, a cultural coordinator, and a registered dietitian who will bring unique perspectives on integrated care. Other activities include a Journey to Progress art exhibit at CSUB's Walter Stern Library from October 15th to November 15th. And finally, I'm very excited to announce that Kern County Library, CSU Bakersfield, and Bakersfield College are launching a Native Literary Mentorship Program in conjunction with the One Book Project this year. The purpose of this program is to lift up Indigenous voices with professional guidance on crafting and publishing literary and illustrative work. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be professionally mentored by successfully published Native American authors, editors, and illustrators. The program's open to CSUB and BC student writers, illustrators, poets, and graphic novelists who are interested in publishing their work. Our Native and founding published members include Deborah Jackson Taffa, Leslie Stahl-Widener, and Andrea Page, who are all very successful writers, illustrators, editors, and educators and speakers. Thank you very much.
God, you're so articulate. You're a perfect speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you. Let me hold it.
Oh, my thingy.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
It is now my honor to address item number 7, and that is to proclaim October 9th, 2025 as the grand unveiling of the reimagined children's area at the Southwest Branch Library in Kern County. And this is a project that was put on by a team from Leadership Bakersfield. If you're not familiar with Leadership Bakersfield, that's a program put on through the Chamber of Commerce every year that helps train community leaders and to get them engaged in our community. And as part of that class, they do a project that gives back to the community. And for this project, for the new play area for the kids, they raised over $32,000 to help build a more engaging, revamped, revitalized area in the library to help kids come in and enjoy the library and get engaged. So it's really an awesome project. And I actually saw the advisor for the team that led this was a classmate of mine from the 2017 Leadership Bakersfield program, Corey Rothman. So this is a great effort and a great partnership, and will be a great benefit to our libraries. And so on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of Kern County, State of California, we have officially proclaimed October 9th, 2025 as the grand unveiling of the reimagined children's area at the Southwest Branch Library in Kern County, and this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes and signed by our Honorable Chair, Leticia Perez.
Hello again. Did you miss me?
I appreciate all you do in the literary world. It's incredible. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to speak about this Leadership Bakersfield project at the Southwest Branch Library. When the Team 4 of Leadership Bakersfield approached me with a proposal to revitalize the children's areas at the Southwest Library, I was so excited because I could instantly see the potential for these highly used spaces and how excited the children in the community would be to enjoy them. When I first moved to Bakersfield, Southwest Library was my library, and my kids were very little. They were 2 years old, and they would say, "Can we go play at the library?" So I could just see like the expansion of being able to learn through play, and I wanted spaces where families could get together and read together and learn together and bond over the love of reading. And so I had a vague vision of what I wanted the areas to look like, and Team 4 took that vision and they mapped it out and they gave me renderings, and it was more beautiful than I could ever have done myself. And then they worked so hard, doing such a phenomenal job of bringing the vision to life through donations and contributions from partners in the community who all wanted this project to happen. They brought forth vibrant colors, furniture, an addition to our mural that we have at Southwest Library. So it's extended with some really nice bright colors that are really attractive to kids. So I'd like to invite everybody to join us for the unveiling of the project on Thursday, October 9th at 11 a.m. And you can see the product of very hard work, dedication, and community connections. So I'm now going to introduce Perry Finzel, who is a dedicated and hardworking member of Leadership Bakersfield Team 4.
We know Perry.
Madam Chair and Board. Shaylin covered most of it, as did the supervisor. One big thing, we did choose that library, and as a stay-at-home dad for 3.5 years, I spent a lot of time on that floor of that specific library. And one thing, as we spent one full weekend, but many days painting, as Shaylin hinted at. Wait till you see these murals on the 9th. Come on out. These murals are amazing. If you've been in the Southwest Library recently, there's a giant mural, and we carried that into our sensory room. So it's something to be seen. But as Shaylin hinted at, as we were painting, to see the excitement as we were painting, kids and parents were just staring at us because we were painting during a Saturday as it was open, and we could be like, hey, come back for more, wait till you see. So I'll briefly cover the team members that aren't here, as well as, so we're the Formidables, by the way, Team 4, Formidables. And it's myself, Shalina Heber, Joshua Finch, Flor De Hoya Galvin, Keith Jackson, Kirsten Webb, and Imad Joba. And this program's been amazing. Thank you. And I will introduce Shalina Heber.
Hello, thank you. I'm Shalina Heber. I have the privilege of being the Executive Director at Valley Center for the Blind. I am now a 2025 near graduate of Leadership Bakersfield and a huge Kern County fan. It was by participating actually in the One Book Project a few years ago that I got very excited about the library. We were talking that year about the ongoing need for accessibility and the rich disability culture that we have here in Kern County.
I love that.
And our eyes are really open to the power and importance of the library outside of just books. As a mother of 3 spectacular people, sometimes I feel like we live at the libraries these days. Some people will say that kids will eat you out of house and home. My children would read us out of house and home. There would be no room for us at the house if we had all of the books, and so we really appreciate the library. I just wanted to share really quickly something that made libraries a big difference for me and my family. When I met my future daughter in the summer of 2024 at Royal Family Kids Camp, an amazing organization that helps our local foster youth through putting on a volunteer-led summer camp. She was about 10 years old at the time, only 20 days younger than my bio daughter. And she shared for me that the library meant everything to her. We had just met, and for her, the library was a safe place where she could get a meal, where she could have people who cared about her, people who would engage in conversation with her, and people who would answer her 5 million questions she comes up with every minute. In my opinion, her local library and the people who staffed it may have saved her life. They meant the difference for her between not knowing who to go to or what resources to have and being somewhere safe. If you want to have hope, I encourage you to learn about our local libraries and the resources they provide. Getting to participate in enhancing the Southwest Library with a team of the most extraordinary volunteers who are filled with those characteristics that Madam Chair Perez mentioned, integrity, intelligence, and energy, has been a great joy. This gift for children and families in our community has been made possible by our inspiring list of sponsors. Slight edit, we're now up to $36,000, some of which will be able to stay with the library to be able to do further projects. We ask everyone here or watching to take a moment, visit your local library, and see our community in action. Thank you to the Board of Supervisors for this recognition and for helping enhance the impact of Little Readers, Future Leaders. Thank you.
My goodness. What an incredible compilation of beautiful souls. You are so Kern County. I am so inspired and moved by what I've heard this morning, in particular your heart. And Perry, who's a local celebrity, also a combat vet, and a single dad for 3 years, which is so cool. But is, oh, I'm sorry, say it up, Dad. Oh my God, your wife's gonna be so mad at me, forgive me. Ladies, he is not available, okay? Let me just make that very clear. But really, your contributions to the nation and to this small community, are profound indeed. So thank you. And please apologize to your wife for me.
She's not watching.
Okay. Okay, that was really, really cool. Okay, finally in our resolutions and proclamations is a certificate of recognition for the 50th anniversary of the paramedic system in Kern County, ultimate sign of civilization. And I'm going to ask Darren Amos, I'll be presenting this myself. I'm going to ask Darren Amos, my friend, and Max Burdick to please come down. And I would ask my colleagues to please second a motion for this remarkable moment of recognition. Motion and a second. Thank you. Please cast your votes. Oh, my. I was leaving Costco yesterday, and I had to pull over on the side of the road because an ambulance was speeding by. And I stayed there for a moment and just watched as the vehicles moved off to the side in sync, in honor and in recognition of these remarkable souls inside of this mobile hospital. That is working feverishly, passionately to save a human life. And it was a heavy moment of just thinking about how important that system is to our civilization and to the individual, whomever was in that unit, their families, their loved ones. And I said a prayer for that person. And it was really quite a moment to just recognize and recall that this is not present everywhere in the world. It is simply not available. But here we have it in spades and, of course, for 50 years. So this is a special moment for me. You're going to hear from these gentlemen as well. But this year marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of Kern County's paramedic program, one of the most progressive EMS systems in California. With this proclamation, we honor the dedication of the men and women from the past and present that have given so much of themselves to Kern County, our home. We're going to have an opportunity to hear from Max Burdick, the retired director of Kern County EMS Department, as well as Darren Amos, beloved member of this community and personal friend, retired EMT. He will speak and introduce one of the others, give a brief history on the paramedic system. Thank you so much for your tireless contributions to the precious gift that is life. So Kern County's paramedic system, in recognition of the 50th anniversary of Kern County's paramedic system and for exemplary public service and civic contributions to the community and Kern County. So I'm not sure who's supposed to get this. Okay, if I could present this to you and say thank you. Thank you for saving lives and for caring.
Thank you.
You got to care a lot, to do that.
Well, thank you for this proclamation. As the director of the EMS in the past and also one of the first instructors of the paramedics, I'm very proud to accept this. That history is very meaningful to me because the only other program that was ahead of Kern County was Daniel Freeman in LA. We were the second program in the state. And I accept this for those who serve as paramedics and are continuing to be trained as paramedics.
Thank you so much.
Is Steve Prater here?
Yeah, all those guys are all in.
Steve, come on down.
All of you, please, come on down.
Okay, so before we get started, if you carried the title of paramedic and served in Kern County, please stand up. Madam Chairman, members of the board, I'd like you to introduce you to some of the heroes that have served Kern County and saved many, many lives over the years.
What they mean, Mr. Duncan? Well, hang on Thursday. Yeah. Come on down. This is quite a moment, huh? Darren, speak into the mic so we can hear you, please.
All right, so names are important. Cammie Taylor, Steve Prater, Tim Reynolds, Mike Metcalf, Armando Solis, Robert Warren are some of the many names around here that have served for so many years. To understand what this system is and how it came about, it started really about July 15th, 1970, when then Governor Ronald Reagan signed into law the Wentworth-Townsend Act that allowed us to serve. Up until that point, it was illegal for anybody to provide medical care on the streets. Once he signed that, we can go out and provide care and save lives. Max here kind of underplays his role. He is the father of our EMS system. He started all of it. In 1973, well, take a step back. He served in the military as a nurse, and if you had the pleasure of taking his paramedic program, there's a very famous slideshow that he used to do for each of his paramedic students. One of the stories I remember was when they had a soldier who took a rocket that actually went across his shoulder blades and was embedded in his back. And so he and his staff, they decided to put sandbags around this person. They used their non-dominant hand to reach in, surgically remove this live round that could have killed everybody in the camp, freed the soldier, saved his life, and came back. He came back to... He came back to Kern County and was working at Bakersfield College and started the first EMT program in 1973. In 1974, he wrote up the curriculum for the very first paramedic program for Kern County. Mind you, Kern County was, I believe, the third paramedic service in the state of California. And the first class that went through there he taught and put on the streets. Now, mind you, in order to run the call for these first generation of paramedics, they had to respond to San Joaquin Hospital, grab a nurse, and then respond to the call before they were allowed to work on their own. Once they were able to work on their own, they turned around and started training more paramedics and more paramedics over the years. At one point, for about over a decade, Kern County was the #1 EMS service in the state of California. We were doing things that everybody else was dreaming that they could do. And to give you an idea of the range of people who served, I mean, we're talking about all ages, okay? Myself and a few others, we were out pushing fairly controlled narcotics, and we weren't old enough to buy alcohol yet. Making life and death decisions, doing surgical procedures, and some of the craziest instances you can think of out there. We really do have a dynamic and diverse group of heroes that have served this county for so many years, and tradition continues on today. Many of us who've gotten out of the field, who moved into education, we're teaching the next generation of heroes, paramedics, and EMTs to serve all of you, the people of Kern County and the state of California. It is my honor to honor Max and to serve all of you. And on behalf of all of these people who are standing here today, we thank you for allowing us to serve you and to be the people who've been there to answer the calls. We know that people don't call us when they're having the best days. In fact, they call us when they're having the worst days of their lives. And we're there to help them get through it and see another day in many cases. Thank you.
Come here, Steve. Say a few words on.
Yeah, Steve's kind of our resident historian.
You're the historian.
He knows way more than I do.
Yeah. Please tell us your full name and.
Yeah,
give us your
my name's
thoughts.
Steve Prater. I originally started as an EMT in this county in 1989. Went to paramedic school, was trained by Max in 2001, and have continued to serve here as a paramedic. And it's really important to remember that not everywhere in the world has paramedics, right? And we're very fortunate here. And sometimes we're kind of overshadowed by the other services, but it's just important. We all take great pride in what we do to provide service for everybody. And it is a great group of folks standing behind me, the folks sitting over there from the EMS department as well that help guide us as well. And it's just one team effort, and we're just happy that we can serve.
God bless you.
Thank you.
I do have to say one thing, Madam Chair and Board of Supervisors, being an ex-paramedic, it's been 25 years I've been a paramedic, but my twin brother Brent Burton and I were the only dual paramedic twin rig in 1995 in the U.S. Made a national magazine, so dual medics. And my brother Brent's still a paramedic, works for Kern County Sheriff.
Wow, outstanding. Let's get a picture here. Let's see there. What's in here, Max? Right here. Max, can you stand? Yeah, squeeze in as best we can.
Get in here, right
I
there.
can never tell you guys apart. He says the same. Can you get all of us? Okay, excellent. Okay, ready? 1, 2. They don't want to be in the picture, I guess. They're above it all. All right, gotcha. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. What a remarkable moment. Recognition. My God, thank you for all that you have done.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Oh, that's good.
You're teaching more lessons these days. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. No, that's yours. You're the one who brought us about.
Good job. Thanks, Darren.
Absolutely fabulous Kern County morning. Okay, thank you for your patience. I know that was lengthy, but as you could see, absolutely beautiful. We're going to move on to our public presentations portion of this morning. This portion of the agenda is reserved for members of the public who would like to address this body on matters that are within the jurisdiction of the Kern County Board of Supervisors, but are not on today's specific agenda. We will get to matters related to the our public health, our Department of Human Services, as well as our Sheriff's Department gang unit. So those are remain to be heard on the agenda this morning, but if you are here to address us on matters not on those two matters, now's the time to come forward. We do ask for your grace and our 2-minute consideration. And please state and spell your name for the record. I know who you are, Jess, but you know how it
Jess
is. Thank you. Good to see you.
Sanders,
Good morning.
Board, Madam Chair. Today's a day of praise. Just wanted to start by saying, since the voters voted in Prop 36 against Newsom's soft on crime, our Kern County Sheriff's Department has arrested over 600 gang members and drug traffickers since May. Our DA has prosecuted over 822 in the last 6 months. You guys we appreciate you taking care of California. Now, what I came to say was thank you for standing against the power grab, Prop 50. The board has joined Shannon Grove, Carl DeMaio, and David Tapia, I can't say these names, and 37 of the sheriff's departments to help protect California and give us back our vote that he's trying to grab. Just really did want to say thank you to all of you for passing that proclamation, to send on in and say, hey, Kern County counts, listen to us.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
Oh, Russ Pearson, person in person.
Hi, Russ. Good morning.
Thank
Please
you.
spell your
As a
name.
human being, Person.
Thank you.
Required notification of legal challenges. SB 851 adds Election Code Section 21 to restore a state or local agency or political subdivision to provide written notice to the Secretary of State of the Attorney General of any filing of or receipt of service of a court action relating to elections that contain a claim arising under federal law. A claim arising under federal law includes, but is not limited to, a claim brought under the Federal Voting Rights Act of 1965, the NVRA, the HAVA, the Civil Rights Act of 1960, and the 14th and 15th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution. The notice is to be submitted within 3 court days of the filing or receipt of service and must include a case number, case name, and venue. In addition, at least 14 court days before a state or local agency or political subdivision enters into a settlement, consent decree, or other court-approved agreement in court related to elections that contain a claim under federal law. The state or local agency or political subdivision shall provide a draft copy of the settlement, consent decree, or other court-approved agreement to the SOS and the Attorney General. This is to provide the opportunity for the SOS and/or the Attorney General to deliver guidance to the state or local agency or political subdivision to ensure the action is consistent with California law, including any applicable California regulations. Section 21 specifically excludes any records or information exchanged under this section from disclosure under the California Public Records Act. And these lawsuits are already underway by the DOJ. So the question is, how is Kern County preparing for these conditions?
Thank you, Mr. Person.
Next is Charles.
Mr. Shin, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning to the supervisors. God bless America. My name is Charles Shin. I'm a retired Marine and a concerned citizen. You should have 2 handouts in front of you. One is the legal lawsuit from the United States to the state of North Carolina. The other is the computerized statewide voter list requirements, which govern running good and adequate elections. United States of America, Plaintiff, North Carolina State Board of Elections, to and include all personnel on that Board of Elections as defendants. State Board defendants will make available to the United States, upon request, any non-privileged documents created or maintained by the Board defendants regarding compliance with this order or compliance with Section 303A5 of HAVA, which is Help America Vote Act, including voter records in the state's HAVA list and any relevant documents that the state board defendants may be required to produce or retain by North Carolina state law as used herein, quote, voter records, unquote, means electronic copy of the state's HAVA list, including each registrant's full name, date of birth, residential address, his or her driver's license number or state ID number, or the last four of their social security number, which is the information required under HAVA to register individuals for federal elections. See 52 USC 21083 A5 A through I. I would like to remind the Board of Supervisors and the Elections Department, Kern County has outstanding issues like incorrect birth dates, date of births, incorrect or secondary NCOA addresses, missing voter histories, and to include ID data, missing places of birth or blanks, non, unknown, and USA, which is the entire country, deceased personnel on the registry, multiple thousands of undeliverables who have not been removed as accordance to law, and the U.S. citizenship verification that must take place. The next person speaking will be my friend Glenn Clayton.
Thank you, Mr. Shen. Good
I'm
morning,
Glenn
Mr.
Clayton, C-L-A-Y-T-O-N. Madam Chair, Board, staff, thank you for all that you do. In a recent memorandum 4 days ago, October the 3rd, the Office of California Secretary of State Shirley Weber gave an overview of Senate Bill 851. Along with several selections, election certification was discussed. Senate Bill 851 amends Election Code Sections 15371, 15372, 15375 to include a statement in each of those sections that the requirements of election officials to certify the election are, quote, ministerial and non-discretionary, close quotes. Senate Bill 851 also adds a similar statement to Section 15400 addressing the duties of the governing board, and these statements were added to make it clear that an elections official or a governing board does not have the authority to refuse to certify an election. In addition, Senate Bill 851 adds subdivision D to Election Code Section 15372 to provide that if an elections official fails to provide certified statement of the results of an election, the Secretary of State shall notify the district attorney of the county or attorney general of that failure, and may assist a county elections official in completing the canvass and certification duties of that elections official. Concerned citizens have two comments here. Number one, the removal of local jurisdiction is a good example why Kern County should move from a general law county to a charter county. Number two is actually a question. Can the Elections Department create a guide similar to the Santa Cruz County for the website? Take a look at the handbill, or a handout, please. Take a look at that. Good ideas there. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton.
Oh, Dennis McLean is
Thank you, Glenn.
We know him.
Dennis McLean, MC, capital L-E-A-N. Morning, Madam Chair and Supervisors. I will cover the election administration at the state level, the handout that we gave you. The national
You gave
voters
several. Which one are you looking at right now?
says brief election administration at state and local levels.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. The National Voters Registration Act of 1993, NVRA, mandates that each state designates a chief election officer to oversee elections in the state. In 33 states, voters elect the chief election official. In most of these states, the elected chief official is the Secretary of State, but in Alaska and Utah, the role is held by the lieutenant governor. In 6 states, Delaware, Florida, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Virginia, the governor appoints the chief of election official. In all but Delaware and Virginia, the chief election official is called the Secretary of State. In Delaware and Virginia, the chief election officials are known as commissioners of elections. In 4 states, Maine, New Hampshire, Oklahoma, and Tennessee, the chief election official is selected by the legislation. Both chambers have a role, except in Oklahoma, where responsibility lies solely with the Senate. In 7 states, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Wisconsin, and Washington, D.C., the chief election official is appointed by the state board or the Commission of Elections. 17 states and Washington, D.C. have a board or a commission that oversees elections in the state or jurisdiction. Ron Barger will be the next speaker.
Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Board. Ron Barger, B-A-R-G-E-R. Continuing with Dennis, 2 states, Louisiana and South Dakota, each have a state election board type structure that is created in statute but has a limited role in actual election administration or oversight. In 10 states, Delaware, Hawaii, Maryland, New York, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Virginia, Wisconsin, and Washington, D.C., a board or commission oversees elections, and the state chief election official is a member of the board or commission. Appointments to election boards are usually made by the governor and confirmed by the Senate, and boards are most often structured to be bipartisan with a certain number of members for each of the major political parties. In 7 states, Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and West Virginia, election responsibilities are shared between a Secretary of State and a board or commission. It is important to see that each state, according to its citizens and elected officials, have designed the means of how to administrate the elections. The system California has selected isn't the only system. 1, there's a need to look back at history and see that state-to-state systems vary. 2, that there's options for both practices, for the best practices. And 3, state laws should not supersede federal laws in federal elections. Turn this over to Andy Hansen.
Good morning, Andy. Welcome.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Board. ABC News Flash. A woman ordered coffee and paper plates on Amazon. Instead, she got a box of 250 blank ballots. Maine officials launched an investigation into mystery delivery, which arrived days before mail-in voting opens in the state referendum on election reform. Ironic, right? In a sad way. To continue, a woman in Newburgh, Maine, who ordered an who placed an Amazon order for coffee, rice, and paper plates, was astonished when the box arrived stuffed with 250 unused state election ballots, according to a report. The shopper, who preferred not to be identified, told ABC News she believed the package had been opened and retaped before arriving at her door, suggesting that it may have been tampered with while leaving the Giants Regional Depot. She explained that she had passed it on to the office of the Newburgh town clerk via law enforcement. So this is a great example of why mail-in ballots are not a safe and not a secure election method. Why? Because there's no chain of custody in the mail. We would like the Board of Supervisors to also know that according to our local postmaster, our ballots are never sent out of town for processing, but are collected and same-day delivered to our election department. So any ballots found late are highly suspect. Thank you. I'm done for now, and my friend Mercy Pena will conclude.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Ms. Pena.
Good morning. Good morning, Board. Good morning, President. Okay, again, my name is Mercy Pena, Mercy Pena, and I'm back, not with another issue, but going back to what I was talking about a couple of weeks ago in our last meeting about the state law in California regarding cannabis use and the dangers of it for our youth. And I just wanted to remind everyone, in California, the state law says a minimum buffer zone of 600 feet between licensed cannabis business and schools, daycares, and youth centers. In Kern County, it is the same distance. And I just wanted to give another address that I found. It's at 7321 Rosedale Highway, 93308. It's west. It's actually just right on the other side of the fence of west of Vista West High School, which is at 7115 Rosedale Highway. And it's on Google Maps, it says it's Berrigan Final Touch. I think it's a landscaping, it used to be a landscaping business. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up to the board again, that I am, going around City of Bakersfield to see where all the cannabis, and it's very disheartening to see that it's just right next door to our schools. I did want to leave this handout with you. I'm sorry I did not give copies to everybody, but there's my information. And I would like to ask the board if they would have either law enforcement discuss this issue maybe on a monthly, quarterly basis to see what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pena. Supervisor Flores.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Penny, for bringing that item up. So the County of Kern has an ordinance that prohibits any storefront dispensaries. So if there are any in the county, we will report that to law enforcement and do our best to abate that in a timely manner. I don't know if the specific one is in the city or the county, but we're going to research that one, and then we'll get back to you, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Flores. Any other public comment? Morning, Ms. Lisa.
Miss Lisa, MS dot LISA, middle initial K, last name Pollard, POLLARD. I just wanted to comment on the concerned citizens. My mom never had any problems after she passed away. I kind of made sure that there wouldn't be a problem as far as the concerned citizens about her ballot being used by somebody else. But I did learn somewhere along the line that they had 2 birth dates of my mom, and it's still that way. But they went back to the archives and found her true birth date. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you.
And I'm looking at the time, and I have a little more time. So now that all of you are here, when I come up and talk, I just started coming really to honor my mom about the preamble, which I'm learning more about as the process of this body of local government, how important it is and how simple the preamble is and how caring it is. And so I care about all of you, and I would like someday to shadow each of the board members so you get to know me personally and I get to know you personally. As you saw, some members that come as our community members I've met and talked to, and they've shared their concerns. And it's not always easy for them to come up, so I'm glad for your kindness to help them to come up and make comments if you can, to give them encouragement so we can have more of our community come up and share their concerns, because we have a lot, as I'm finding out. So anyway, I just wanted a purpose, and I found myself here after reading a scripture in the Bible that said government helps. So I'm here to help, be an extension of all of your offices any way that I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lisa. Are there any other members of the public that would like to comment?
Hello, Board. My name is Mike Ian,
Hello,
Guillen from Mojave. I gave everybody a handout. I won't be able to read it. I haven't been feeling well for the last few days. I see nothing but blur. All the paramedics already left, so that wouldn't be a good situation, right? But this is a directive from the Department of Justice. You guys know my situation. I'm just hoping that maybe I can meet with Mr. Parlier later on today. I'll talk to Judge Chaplin, who's been amazing. He gave me application to replace my grandfather's burial flag that came out missing during the abatements. So I appreciate that. And hopefully you guys can read this, go over it. This is a directive from the Department of Justice. Hopefully we can get this situation resolved immediately if possible. We've hit rock bottom now. We can't be out in the street any longer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Supervisor Parlier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mike, you know, we're aware of your situation. Josh, Public Works, County Counsel. Unfortunately, as soon as we get done with the PM session, I'm going to be on the way to Roseman for a National Night Out. But my staff is in my office right now, Suite 502. Please go upstairs. My chief, Michael Herrera, should be there. Please talk to him, and if you have that opportunity.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Parlier. Other members of the public would like to weigh in on matters not on today's agenda. Please, now's the time to do so. Please come on down. Please state and spell your name for the record. Thank you for your patience. It's been a long morning already. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Curtis Harms.
Hi, Curtis.
Last name, Harms. And I am the president of the Backcountry Horseman Unit, of the Backcountry Horsemen of California. And my subject is the Kern River Plan for Equestrian Trails. And it appears the last 2 years there's been a problem there. 2 years ago, there was some torrential rains and it damaged the trails where they're impassable. And the last few years, we have not been able to use them. They have not been repaired. I've tried to make contact with the Parks Department, and I have not been able to get any information constructive in getting them repaired. There's several sections that are, like I said, impassable. Our club used to use the equestrian barn, which is in the east end of the park, as a staging point for our horseback rides and a lot of our trails. And since some of the trails are partitioned off, they're all basically useless. I would like to get on calendar a discussion to get some of these trails repaired. And there's also sections along the Alfred Harrell Highway where errant cars have gone off and tore up the fencing, and barbed wire is in some sections blocking and making it unsafe for horses to pass. And they're making many of these trails quite unusable. And I would like to have a discussion at some point on more details. I have photographs, and I'd like to get these repaired. Our club has volunteered several times in the past to help clear trails and keep them cleared. We do that quite often, but as far as some of these larger repairs, we need someone to discuss about getting them repaired so they're usable. But basically, the Hart Park area, those trails are basically unusable, and they're partitioned off. Nobody can use them. And our club, for the past 2 years, has been unable to use those facilities. Other clubs have brought in discussion of what I would like to discuss what I'm doing right now. So I'd like to talk to some. Mr. Flores, please.
Thank you so much, Supervisor. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your concerns and your work in the county. Supervisor Couch, if you give us some direction.
I'm gonna ask you to talk to this nice young lady right over here. Her name is Nancy Lawson. She's our CAO. The Parks Division is part of her department. Right, that lady right there. Give her your contact info and she will take care of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor.
And maybe coordinate with the city as well, because some of those trails might be in the city of Bakersfield as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch. Any other members of the public would like to weigh in on matters of concern to the Kern County Board of Supervisors? Okay, excellent. We're going to then move along our agenda to the next matter, which is board member announcements and reports. Supervisor Parley, I see you plugged in.
Yes, ma'am. 2 items. First, concerned citizens brought up potentially changing from a general law to a charter county. So when I was with the Bakersfield City Council, Bakersfield is a charter city. I believe it's the only one in the county. I think it afforded Bakersfield some flexibility, not only in pushing back on the state in some areas, but again, as a municipality, give it more flexibility. So I'd like staff to come back and do a presentation on the pros and cons and talk about what it would be like to be a charter county. Second of all, so this Thursday morning, Taft Sheriff Substation is going to open. I want to thank General Services Property Management for putting the deal together for this facility, our Sheriff Donnie Youngblood and his department for their commitment to public safety, and I look forward to being out there Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Parlier, and congratulations to Donnie and his team. Do we need a motion on Supervisor Parlier's initial request?
I'll second that. I also wanted to, in advance of that, I know this was looked at decades ago, and also recently, when I say recently, I mean 10 years ago. So could you put together that information for us prior to, we don't have a meeting for a couple of weeks, so if we could see that information within the next couple of weeks, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch. That's a second on that motion?
Ma'am.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Gentlemen, any other announcements or reports?
Thank you for that, Supervisor Parley. There's a lot of flexibility in part of that report.
Okay. Moving along to our agenda items this morning, we have 2 remaining. The first is under Human Services. That's item number 24. I see Lito Murillo and his team making their way to the staff table. This is a request to enter contract negotiations with Social Policy Institute, San Diego State University, for an external review of child welfare services in Kern County. Thank you, Lito, for all of your attention and all of the transparency for the public regarding these matters. It is noteworthy and very much appreciated. Thank you for your team's efforts. The floor is yours.
Is this on? Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you for allowing me to bring this item before you today. I'm joined here today to my left is Marie Bermudez, my assistant director, and to my right is my chief deputy, Vanessa Frando. On August 19th, 2025, we came before your board to ask for approval to evaluate qualified vendors to conduct an external independent review of the Kern County Department of Human Services Child Welfare Service System. I'm pleased to announce that we've selected Social Policy Institute, SPI, out of San Diego State University to conduct an external comprehensive review of our child welfare system. Social Policy Institute, SPI, a project out of San Diego State University School of Social Work, has a long-standing history of leadership, innovation, and success in enhancing the well-being of diverse communities across California. Their mission aligns perfectly with our goals to support children, youth, family, and community well-being through rigorous research, evaluation, and collaboration with government, business, community partners, and stakeholders. SPI's expertise in child welfare and human services systems, combined with their experience in conducting program evaluations, collaborative research, and designing improving models and systems, make them an ideal partner for this crucial task. They have also proposed enhancements to the original scope, including a deeper commitment to community engagement through listening sessions such as parent cafes, as well as expanded staffing to support implementation planning. SPI's methodology involves a detailed review of system-wide documents, interviews with DHS, child welfare leaders and staff, community partners, and content analysis that helps us identify themes and crucial findings. This process will help us understand how our child welfare system is currently operating, what occurred before, during, and after critical incidents, and the extent to which incidents identified broader agency practices and culture issues. The decision to select SPI follows a thorough vetting process which several highly regarded organizations were considered. SPI stood out for its deep expertise in child welfare, its commitment to equity and community engagement, and its proven track record of supporting systems transformation across California, including counties such as Tulare, Ventura, and San Diego. Their proposal reflects a comprehensive, rigorous, and collaborative approach that aligns with the goals for conducting this review. The purpose of this independent review is clear. It's to identify best practices, uncover systemic gaps and challenges, and provide actionable recommendations that will strengthen our policies, procedures, and more importantly, our outcomes for children and families in our community. This review is not just a compliance exercise. It is an opportunity to reflect, to listen, and to act. It is a chance to build a stronger, more responsive, more equitable child welfare system, one that truly centers on the voices and needs of children and families. We are grateful to SPI for their partnership and look forward to working with them in the coming months. If approved by your board, the review is anticipated to begin within the next month and conclude within 6 months, subject to the final scope and timeline agreed upon. The final report will contain actionable recommendations for establishing workforce system improvements, ensuring greater alignment with evidence-based practices, and fostering community engagement. This will help us cultivate a shared understanding of the child welfare process and significantly reduce the need of families to enter public systems while maintaining child safety. We are confident that this independent review by SPI will provide us with the valuable insights and recommendations to enhance our child welfare system. Together, we can ensure our children and families will receive the support and services they need to thrive. Now I'd like to turn it over to Lori Clark, Director of SPI, to introduce her team and to share SPI's processes and expertise. And I'll pull up her PowerPoint.
Thank you, and good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board.
Welcome.
It's an honor to be here, and we appreciate the opportunity to present our methodology and approach to providing the external review. Do I need to initiate the slides, or will they go on?
It should come on now.
Great. And also want to thank you, Director Morello, and your team for the trust that you've placed in us to perform this very critical work. We're honored to be here today, and you have my pledge that we're going to bring the intelligence, the integrity, and the energy that you spoke of earlier to the work before us. So today we want to take just a few minutes to tell you a little bit more about Social Policy Institute and the work of San Diego State University, for those of you that aren't familiar with us, so that you too can have some confidence in at least some background and some experience that's being brought to the table on behalf of the county. It will be my pleasure to introduce our team and talk to you a little bit about their capabilities. And then, as the director so eloquently put, to sort of reinforce what we expect to come of this external evaluation so that we can look at that together, because we look forward to being back here in 6 months or sooner to share the results of that assessment with you. My team and I will go through in a little bit of detail our approach so that you'll see the transparency and the thoughtfulness that we are bringing to the work before us. So again, you've heard a little bit about the Social Policy Institute. You see our mission and vision there. Our mission really is to bridge academia with government, business, the community, in order to enhance individual, family, and community well-being. So it's a tall order for a vision, but we bring best and evidence-based practices in order to achieve that kind of wellness. So we're looking forward to being that bridge here as well. And part of that involves work among partners, interagency work of public systems, partnering with community leaders, and partnering with members of the community, parents, caregivers, and others, because we know that no one system has the mandate or the reach to do it all alone. We are interconnected. And so part of the lens that we will bring to the table is one of collaboration and one of being thorough in engaging partners across the board. So as you heard, we have been active actually throughout California for a number of years. The principles of Social Policy Institute bring national, statewide, as well as local experience within counties, and you'll hear a little bit more about that. But more recently, I want to elaborate on just a few examples of what we've done in the counties that you see there. So Ventura County, for example, their Social Policy Institute developed the first capacity building training for the integrated core practice model. In short, the integrated core practice model is a designated practice approach and system blueprint for the state of California to enhance human services. We developed the train the trainer model for that and are looking forward to helping that system grow so that when children, families, partners come together, you're hearing a shared approach, a common language. In the county of San Diego, we have been part of the team that helped San Diego transform from a child welfare system to the first child and family well-being department in the United States. That may sound like nothing more than semantics because the truth is behind the difference that means. But what San Diego wanted to communicate to parents, caregivers, and all citizens was a commitment to well-being, and they shifted the language accordingly, and not only the language, but the underlying systems. So that's part of what we're looking at as well. What is strong in the current system that should be built on and can be leveraged for further enhancement of wellness? And what are those issues that may need process improvements or may need some systematic change? And then finally, in the county of Tulare, that is a county that we are also working with in all three instances to build a system of wellness that is an alignment of public system partners, community leaders, and parents, caregivers, and community members, all working together to create the kind of wellness that all of our children, youth, and families deserve. So the team that we're bringing to you, all three of us that you see pictured there, are here today. Myself as the director of the Social Policy Institute. I was a part of the governor's redesign of child welfare services in California back in the year 2000. It was a 5-year project that 5 years upon its completion reduced the number of children in foster care in our state by 50%. And has created some other shifts in the system that have been instrumental in helping kids and families. Margot Fudge is our subject matter expert in child welfare services. That's true of multiple members of our team, but Margot will be point on that. She will share more of her background. And then Roger De Leon, also a part of our team, is a father with lived experience in the child welfare services system, has become a trainer, a subject matter expert, and more recently was the co-chair of a statewide task force here in California of moving from mandated reporting to community supporting, because we know that it takes everyone to be a part of the solution. So not only the three of us, but we are backed by a team of advisors, some of whom will be here meeting with local partners in Kern County. Others will be our advisors behind the scenes. Steve Hornberger is my partner at San Diego State University. Steve and Judy Weber on the end are both pioneers in the National Association of Social Workers. That means that the two of them have been responsible for different innovations in child welfare services that have changed the face of what we're doing for the better, and they have been well recognized for their work. Richard Connect was the developer of the integrated core practice model that I mentioned and has been an advocate for systems change for many decades here in California. Finally, Mark Manis has been the national director of several national centers of excellence around various aspects of human services. And then Judy Weber was recently the child welfare director in Ventura County, now retired and lending her expertise to efforts like this. So we're backed by that team, and then finally, we have an operations team, if you will. You'll hear in a moment from Margot Fudge that we are planning to do an extensive document and process review. We're planning to meet with partners, and this will be part of the team, both behind and in front of the scenes, that are assisting us to do that. So what it comes down to, you've heard a little bit about the intended outcomes, and I just want to reinforce those so that you hear them in the context and coming from us. We are here as part of the independent external review to identify those key strengths and assets that are already in place that we can build on and leverage for further improvement. We also fully anticipate identifying some systematic areas that need strengthening. And by leveraging those two together, we will be making some actionable recommendations on how that can happen. And we will bring those recommendations forward with considerations for implementation and also a concrete timeline so that it can readily be seen what's possible over what kind of horizon. Likely, it's foreseeable that there will be some short-term, easy solutions that can be put in place quickly, some midterm, and then maybe some recommendations that may take longer. But at least that way, there will be a full menu of options for what's possible and what might be considered beneficial. Our scope of work, as we've mentioned, includes the kinds of review, document and process. Margot's going to say more about that in a moment. Extensive stakeholder engagement. And that means for us, all of the partners who are involved, not only in operating the system, but who are on the receiving end of the system as well. We propose to come with a collaborative process, so it won't be 6 months from now until you hear from us again. There will be dialogue along the way because we want to discover and look at findings together. So we've made a commitment to come and do an executive staff interim briefing so that we can understand the findings together. Wherever the findings lead, they are external and independent, and those will be reflected in our final written report. So with that, I'd love to bring up Margot Fudge, who will further introduce herself and share more.
Thank you, Lori. Good morning, members of the board. My name is Margot Fudge. Let's see if I can get that to advance. Margot Fudge, and I'm a child welfare consultant for the Social Policy Institute. I have spent nearly the last 30 years in the social services space, with almost all of that in public child welfare. Most recently, I was the deputy director for the County of San Diego Child and Family Wellbeing, and I had the privilege of having oversight of our administrative portion, which was policy, legal services, continuous quality improvement, epidemiology, behavioral health, et cetera. And so I have received state and national recognition for my work regarding the importance of sibling relationships, as well as being a trainer for the importance of using the voice of lived experts to inform system improvement. So I'm now going to talk a little bit about the how. How are we going to go about doing this? So as Lori mentioned, we are going to be doing a comprehensive review. As you might know, the child welfare system is immense. And while somewhat unrealistic to evaluate the entire system, we are going to be doing a comprehensive, thorough review of both the front end, the investigations, the hotline, as well as the cases on the back end. So to do that, we have to look at the rules, the protocols, regulations, and policies that dictate this work and what those actions mean for child welfare. We will also be performing a content analysis to identify themes and trends, and that will be done both from the document review as well as those interviews that Lori mentioned. So in regards to the system-wide review, this will start with a random audit of both investigations and cases. So we'll be able to pull that documentation, review a number of cases, a number of investigations, and start to identify some trends. What are we seeing as we review that documentation? So that'll be coming from the statewide database that social workers utilize to enter information. It's also going to be really, really important that we look at standardized risk and safety tools. So it was mentioned earlier, the use of evidence-based tools, and these are those. So we want to look at 3 aspects of that. What are the outcomes of risk and safety assessments? Are they being used properly? Are we holding fidelity to the model? And then what is the frequency that it's being done? We also want to look at engagement and process tools. These are really important to develop a foundation for how social workers engage with the families and the children they work with. How do they build rapport? How do they gather information? And then, as I mentioned, looking at all of the policies, protocols, and procedures that guide the work. So if we go a little bit deeper into the emergency response portion of that, we want to consider the hotline as part of the front end of the system. Oftentimes, that is the first opportunity that the public or the community has to engage with the department. And so we need to better understand, how are those reports coming in? What are the call wait times? How are they being triaged? We also need to understand compliance with those risk and safety tools that I mentioned in the previous slide. So again, are social workers using them timely? What are the outcomes, and are they doing it correctly? As Lori mentioned, we firmly believe that the department is doing amazing work here in Kern, and so we're going to be looking at all of the strengths as well. We also want to look at adherence to relevant all-county letters. So as you know, the all-county letters provide directive for the department and how work needs to be done. So how is that implemented? How is that done here locally? And then the training requirements for new staff and onboarding. The job of child welfare staff is an extremely difficult job. It is very complex. And so we need to understand training requirements and how staff are onboarded. It can take a new social worker several years to fully feel comfortable and confident in the work they're doing. So we definitely want to understand the onboarding process. And then we will be doing a thorough data analysis. I'm going to talk more about data in an upcoming slide. So as mentioned, this is going to be comprehensive, not just focused on the front end. So some of the pieces of the cross-sector review that will happen go a little bit deeper, and they look at more systemic areas. So part of that is reviewing current and prior system improvement plans. These are done every 5 years. They are required, where the county looks at their processes, they do a county self-assessment, and they come up with areas that they feel need improvement. That will be foundational for us to better understand what's already been evaluated here for Kern. We also want to look at results of Child and Family Services review for the past several years. These are also required. They're a federal mandate that every quarter the county does a case review of their own. They're given a number of cases and they go in and look at things. So we want to understand what has already been identified from those case reviews and what trends have been established. It's helpful to look at any prior audits or assessments that have already been done, again, just to develop that baseline and foundation. And then prevention guiding documents are important to understand the comprehensive prevention plan here in Kern and what's being done around prevention. So as I mentioned, data is going to be very important to inform this evaluation, particularly an in-depth data analysis. So we have already begun to do that data analysis through publicly available sites such as the California Child Welfare Indicators Project. But there are other data sets that are going to be important, like I mentioned, call volume to the hotline, wait times, and then staffing levels. As I mentioned, the job of a child welfare social worker is very difficult. And so having the appropriate staffing levels to give staff adequate time to spend with each family they're working with is important. So staffing, vacancies, caseload sizes are all going to be very important. I am now going to turn it over to my colleague Roger to talk a little bit more about the interview process.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Board. Pleasure to be here. My name is Roger De Leon. Just a little bit about myself to kind of share a little bit deeper of some of my qualifications. I'm not only a father with lived experience, I am a father with lived expertise because I, at one time, was a what they call a parent partner. I helped develop a parent partner program inside of Child Welfare Riverside County. I helped found it, build it all the way up, and it's still running as of right now to help other parents. But it also gave me a different perspective as well as I went through the induction piece and learned about social work. I intentionally went in because I wanted to be able to educate the parents that I was helping navigate the system, and I found that there was a whole new world with social work. So I want to reiterate what my colleague Margie had shared, and that is that social work is not easy. Yes, I am a family advocate, I am a parent advocate, and we look at what it feels like to navigate the system. A day without your child is like 1,000 years. That's a true feeling. But I also understand the human side to human services within social work. And so not only that, but I'm also a minister in my local community, been there for 20 years in the community working with the community. So with all that, I also, as was shared, had the privilege of being able to be the co-chair for the Mandated Reporting to Community Supporting Task Force for the State of California's Child Welfare Council. And so with that, it's taught me a lot with engagement and how to look at things down the middle. And so that's one of the things that we want to do is we want to make sure that we're looking and we're coming in as an entity from the outside, looking at every perspective, not just one side, but all sides to make sure that we are doing that due diligence. And so as you can see here, we want to engage CWS, adjacent system leaders, and partners. That's one of the things that we want to bring together, not to mention elevate the voices of lived experience. And so here, there is a long list here. I'm not going to read them all because it is going to take a lot of time. But we want to really look at the key informant interviews with leadership and key staff. And so we want to have those one-on-ones, so that way we're able to have that human side as well, sitting down with leadership. But we want to go beyond the leadership as well. We want to speak also and hear from the line staff because we know that they have a lot of important information. We want to hear the strengths as well, so it's not just one-sided. And just as I shared, also be an open ear to hear. Within my years in my career working for child welfare, I can tell you that I've sat with many social workers, supervisors, regional managers who have shared their heart. And so for me, it is a passion to make sure that we are able to see and hear every part as we're making, our assessments going in and bringing the best out of everyone. And, as we know, it was shared that Kern County is doing a wonderful job. And we want to just be a part of just that strengthening piece. So these are the list of individuals that we would like to have those one-on-one and plan to have those one-on-one interviews here as we are here helping out. And of course, here we want to have those focus groups and community cafes. We want to hear from parents, the voices of those in our community. I can tell you that often voices in the community feel that they are not heard. There is no, let's be transparent, we know that there seems to be this separation of communication, or at least what it feels like. The one thing that I can share in my experience of being in the community and being that liaison between the agency as well as the community is this. We used to joke as parent partners and say that we were bilingual. We spoke social worker and we spoke parent. And it showed many times within the conversations that we've had where there was high emotions, distrust, and also a lot of other just ways of communicating that were just missed, and so we're looking at having these opportunities to go into the public and to be able to hear what they have to say and to bring out their voices, because I can also tell you as an individual with lived expertise in being in spaces and being able to share that impact in not just my experience, but in the experiences of the many families that I've served throughout the years. So in other words, I come with the voices of many that I've been able to help throughout the years. And we found such an impact that when we're able to engage in our communities and get those lived experience, the community's voices lifted up, we can actually see some things and actually develop that liaison piece, as well as fill in those gaps for the ability for the agencies to be able to move forward. And I've actually seen that happen, not just with the task force that we've successfully were able to bring out some recommendations and watching it go through, but also having, just the community having that engagement piece with the agencies. And so we're looking to include the voices for those lived expertise, such as parents, youth, caregivers. They often have a unique perspective, as I was sharing, that an insight that drives system improvement. It does help out. So engaging the adjacent system partners as well, such as legal, community, behavioral health systems, and other advocates. So we don't want to just name just a few. We want to name as many as we can within these cafes and see if we can bring a communication so that way we can all advocate together and how we can move forward. And that is one of my biggest missions, and it has been for the many years that I've done this, is not that I come out and share my story and be one-sided, but how could I share my story to be able to help my colleagues on both sides, community as well as agency, and how we can move forward and develop ways to practice for the sake of the children that we're here to protect. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Margie.
Thank you, Roger. All right, so we're getting close to wrapping up. I want to try to summarize with these 4 key areas. It's such an important topic, so I know we're a little long-winded, but want to make sure we give you guys a good understanding of the comprehensive nature of this assessment. So definitely going to be looking at evidence-based tools, how those are being used. We want to understand the continuous quality improvement framework here. What is the department already doing to understand any issues that are identified, and how are they moving those forward to resolution? Leaning heavily into policy and data to inform the analysis, and then understanding the staffing caseload vacancies for the workload. So that's sort of summarized there. And again, what we've shown you today has been a lot of information, but it's not exhaustive. It's not a complete list, right? As we start the assessment, we will take it where it leads us, and so things may shift as we identify additional information. So this slide gives you a high-level timeline, which I know is very important to the board for us to come back in 6 months with our recommendations. So as the director mentioned, hopefully next month we'll have a contract executed and be able to start holding some of these meetings with child welfare leadership. We'll be able to begin that document review, which is going to take time to start to do those case audits. And then late November, early December, we hope to start meeting with the members of the community, doing those conversation cafes. Simultaneously, we'll be doing the interviews with staff. Those will run concurrently and take us several months. In April, we'll be back, we'll have an interim report ready, and then back here in May to present those findings. And now I am going to turn it over to Lori. Oh, do you want me to just close it out? We're closing it out, so we are going to turn it over. Thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it.
Incredibly comprehensive. Thank you so much.
Madam Chair, that concludes our presentation. We're here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you. Now would be a good time for members of the public to weigh in on this matter if you desire to do so. Okay, see no interest in that, we're going to return to the board for comments, question, or action. Oh, I'm so sorry, Supervisor Parlier. No? Okay, Supervisor Flores.
Lito, I just want to say thank you for navigating the challenges of the past couple months and where we're heading. And this firm is very impressive. We have a lot of consultants that come throughout the United States and present before our board. And the detail, the past work, the processes are very impressive, and we welcome that because we have a lot of challenges and we want to embrace the work, and I look forward to your recommendations. And I love your interconnected approach. I love your bringing academia, business, all the things you said, all the various stakeholders. They were plentiful. And so whatever our board can do to support your efforts, we look forward to doing so. And this is more than a review. This is going to be a life-saving exercise. So we appreciate the spirit in which it was conveyed. Thank you.
Supervisor Flores, is that a motion?
Yes, I'd love to make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion in a couple of seconds. Thank you so much for your passion and your experience that you bring. We very much look forward to this collaborative process and in full transparency. So Lito, thank you for your aggressive, assertive approach on a very important subject. Please cast your votes, gentlemen.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to our final matter this morning, which involves our Sheriff's Department. As they make their way down to the staff table or the lectern. This is item number 37, presentation on Sheriff's Office Gang Suppression Unit and Kern County High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Task Force activities and efforts in community safety. Our team of experts are making their way to the staff table. So thank you for your patience. I know it's been a long morning. This is, of course, of critical importance to the community. We often hear, we heard this morning, about members of the community that are concerned on these matters. So I certainly appreciate you, Donnie, and your team and all of your efforts. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'd like to correct a statement that was made earlier this morning from one of our people in the audience that about 37 sheriff's offices supported Prop 50 to vote no. There's actually 37 elected sheriffs throughout California that recommend vote no.
I see. Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff.
And I'm one of those sheriffs.
Gotcha. Loud and clear.
If you recall, going back, some of you will, in the middle of 2008, 2009, we had an economic downturn. It was so severe that we laid off 40 deputy sheriffs. Not positions, we laid off 40 people, gave them pink slips and sent them home. I told the board at that particular time it would take us years to recoup the loss of those individuals, and we're still on our way, on the rebound from those losses. We did not hire anybody for several years. We did not give pay raises for several years, and it had a severe impact on the Kern County Sheriff's Office. During that time, we closed our Special Enforcement Division's HIDA section. We downsized the HIDA section. We completely eliminated our gang unit, and we functioned for several years without those. We know that was having a significant impact on our drug seizures and our drug cases. In May of 2024, with the help of this board, the CAO's office, and Human Resources, we reinstituted the gang task force. It's been 18 months. We also beefed up our HIDA unit, and I wanted to come and tell you the significant impact that we've had in the last 18 months. Having worked undercover in this capacity for 4 years of my career, I can tell you these numbers blew me away of what we've accomplished in 18 months. The gang task force and the HIDA unit have been outstanding in their approach. They were told going in, their success would determine the future of those units. The gang task force was re-engaged in May of 2024, and during the past 18 months, they've arrested more than 300 gang members. They've seized 186 firearms. They seized $285,000 in cash, 81.5 pounds of methamphetamine, 24 pounds of fentanyl, 61.9 pounds of marijuana, and 500 fentanyl M30 pills, the little blue pills that are killing people in our community. The High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Task Force, also known as HIDA, consists of the Kern County Sheriff's Office, the Probation Department, the California Highway Patrol, the United States Drug Enforcement Administration, the United States Department of Homeland Security investigators, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms,
and the National Guard Counter-Drug Task Force. During the past 18 months, we've noticed a significant increase in cartel activity. Most of the people that are arrested are Mexican nationals. We have noticed a change since the security of our border took place. They've had 287 operations, 319 arrests, 65 were fugitives. 5 meth labs were dismantled. 1 butane honey oil lab was dismantled. The 175 firearms seized. The meth labs, I should let you know, were directly related to, prior to the security of our border, drugs were coming across rather easily, and there was no reason to have conversion labs. Now that the border is secure, they're being more discreet in getting liquid across, so the labs are now occurring in our country as opposed to outside the country. We seized 175 firearms, $620,000 in cash, 2,560 pounds of methamphetamine, 2,746 pounds of meth solution, 93 pounds of fentanyl, 284 pounds of cocaine, 17 pounds of heroin, 24 pounds of psilocybin, 11,937 pounds of marijuana, and 243,000 plants, THC edibles and others 925 pounds. Combined, these two units have seized 5,433 pounds of meth, 130 pounds of fentanyl, 125,000 M30 blue pills that are killing our community, 284 pounds of cocaine, 17 pounds of heroin, 12,019 pounds of marijuana, 243,000 plus plants, 925 pounds of edibles, and 24 pounds of psilocybin. Marijuana enforcement eradication efforts. 152 illegal marijuana grow search warrants were served. 45 illegal marijuana dispensaries search warrants were served. 11,937 pounds of marijuana and 243,000 plants were seized. This is in a period of 18 months since we've reinstituted the gang unit. I wanted this board to realize that because you're such a part of whether we have these task forces or whether we don't, the amount of activity that we've had, the significant impact that we've had, and what you can't measure is the number of lives that have been saved because this amount of drugs did not hit the streets in Kern County. These drugs are no different, these drug dealers are no different than sticking a gun in the face of our youth and pulling the trigger. The end result is the same. So I'm here to commend the task force units, the gang unit, the county administrative office, and this board for allowing us to be so successful. And I think we'll see a great deal of success, more success in the future. So with that, the experts are in the back of the room, not up here. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer those questions.
Thank you so much, Donnie. Is there any input from the public or questions you'd like directed towards our Sheriff's Department? Now would be the time to do so. Morning, Dennis.
Dennis McLean. I would like to thank the Sheriff's Department, what they do. Without them, we'd be in big shape. So, attaboy, you guys. I appreciate law enforcement much more now than when I was a child or a young man. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dennis.
Any other input? Okay. I saw Jess move, so I wasn't sure. Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing, return to colleagues. Supervisor Flores, is that from before or now? Okay, so, got it. Supervisor Parlier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sheriff, looking at these statistics, which are just very impressive and amazing, but each one of those cases represent hundreds, if not thousands of hours of investigative work, the diligence of everybody on the task force from the gang unit, the HIDTA. I go back to my time on HIDTA methamphetamine task force, And I know firsthand that those are, 24-hour shifts sometimes, doing that type of investigation. I see probation in the audience, I see CHP in the audience, and any of our other partners, I want to thank them for all their hard work in doing this. The general public, a lot of times, their perception is they see a patrol officer, deputy, and they think that's law enforcement, which it is. But those specialized units are able to take care of so many needs that would splash over to the patrol function otherwise, from homicides to other type crimes, that if gangs or drugs are left unchecked, that those things spill over, like I said, in other areas of our community. And I just want to thank you for all your hard work.
I appreciate your expertise and your past history of working with narcotics. These numbers are unprecedented in our county in the history of working narcotics. We've never seen the amount of drugs that we're seeing today that we're seizing. And none of these would have been seized, or very few of these would have been seized without the reinstituting of the gang task force and the HIDA unit.
Thank you, sir.
Supervisor Flores.
Thank you, Sheriff. I'm so pleased to see the stats here and what it represents. And I remember during budget discussions when the task force was dormant, and I remember being a part of the board that put with the CAO's office to reestablish funding. And so I'm so happy to see that this come to fruition. And I've been on some of the raids with the task force. Tremendous work, dangerous work. I remember taking office, I had about 10 or 11 marijuana shops just in Oildale alone. This task force has got that down to 0. Sometimes it hovers at 1 or 2, but they're quickly eradicated. And it means so much to my students, to my citizens, to all of our, to churches, to the neighborhoods. And I'm just totally grateful. And whatever we can do to sustain this, you have my full unilateral and unconditional support. Thank you.
Supervisor Flores, thank you for that. We appreciate it. And just so you know, we are not at full staff in these units yet. We're getting closer. So the more we add, obviously, the more drugs that we'll seize and the more children that we'll save their lives.
Thank you, Sheriff. Supervisor Peters.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Also wanted to say thank you. Appreciate you, Sheriff, and Under Sheriff, and in your guys' whole department and what you guys do. And obviously, I don't need to tell you guys this, but just the public in general, though, just looking at the shocking amount of drugs that you and your department's taken off the street it's unreal. But the fact that they're out there and that they're getting here, all you guys can do is treat the symptoms of this, but the underlying cause. I'm glad to see that the federal government is stepping in, like you said. You mentioned securing the border. I know that they've been really aggressively going after people that are trying to get drugs across our border, and all we can do is try and get them off the street once they get here, which you guys do a phenomenal job of. You guys are the best at what you do, and I appreciate you, and we're happy to support you however we can.
Thank you, sir.
Supervisor Couch.
Thank you. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but congratulations to you, to your department, to all of our partners. Obviously, if it's working, we want to do more of it. How many officers are in the gang unit?
I believe there's 10 with 2 seniors and 2 sergeants.
And you have room for, or you have positions available,
I
but
think
not?
we have 4 more vacant positions, or give or take.
Okay, so good luck in getting those guys. As I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, well, it takes money to hire those people to do the work. That's why I think it's so important that we create an opportunity for business to work here, because they make money. We need more taxpayers, not just higher taxes, but it all starts with the private sector, and then we're able to address concerns like the one you're describing here today.
It bleeds over to the homeless problem that we have as well. We work with Supervisor Flores and Oildale extensively, and to keep those people moving around, and a lot of them have warrants. Homelessness is not a crime, but generally a large percentage of those people have warrants or drug problems. We need to get back to treating the problem instead of the symptom, but that's a conversation for another day.
This might not be just for you, but is this all funded from our general fund or from locally, local dollars? Or are we getting some state or federal funding?
In the HIDA, we're getting federal, and
Okay.
we're getting some state money, and then a large percentage of county funds, general fund.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Sheriff, thank you for all you do, and your team, and your leadership.
I wish I could take credit for it, but I do very little.
Well, I appreciate you and the leadership you provide. Do we need a motion here to receive and file? Okay, gentlemen, we need a motion to receive and file.
So moved.
We have a motion in several seconds. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay. Thank you, Donnie. And we're going to convene now to our closed session, and we'll be back at 2. We are adjourned.